The stream was deleted on Facebook. Oh, hi everybody. This is Heidi with FamilySearch Social Media, and we have the great Tanner Tolman with us. He is a FamilySearch library specialist, and we are so excited to be with you today. Thank you for joining us for our weekly FamilySearch library and FamilySearch webinar. Wherever you're watching us from, thank you for being here with us. And boy, do we have an exceptional class for you in store today. There's so much to learn. And Tanner, I am so excited to learn about how we can merge duplicates. Oh my goodness, it's only been a couple of seconds into the webinar and we already have almost 300 people joining us. For those of you that are joining us, we invite you to let us know where you're watching from. It's always so incredible to see how we have people from the United States and even from around the world watching us, because as we know, family history is a really just it's a hobby that is so loved by so many people, regardless of your background, regardless of where you're at in your family history journey or experience. It's something that we all enjoy, learning about where we come from and who our ancestors are. Tanner, thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So Tanner, I just want to share a little bit about you with our audience. Tanner is internationally certified with ICAP Gen for Denmark research, which is really impressive. Tanner, tell us a little bit about why you became interested in Denmark research.
I got interested in genealogy when I was 18. My mom was a professional genealogist, and then I started doing just whatever I could in like my English lines. But then I got a mission call to Denmark. And so after coming back and having the language, I decided to focus on that region.
That's so neat. That's so neat. So beyond that, you work full time at the FamilySearch Library, and I was talking to Tanner earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, it's busy, and he's there right now. He's at home, but he's always at the library and helping out anybody who walks through the doors there." Tanner, what is your favorite thing to talk about at the library?
I really like helping guests in person when they come to the library and they have a lot of times they have some sort of ancestor that they're trying to push back farther in time, find their parents, and they have the desire to, but they don't know how. And so I love teaching those people what the next steps are.
Love it. So you are someone that gets to hear a lot of questions that people have, and you get to help them and empower them. How does that make you feel to know that you're always helping people and empowering them to get ahead and to find answers to all of those questions that they have?
It's really satisfying. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, my job makes a difference," but I really feel like this job in particular just helps so many people on both sides of the veil on an eternal scale.
Oh,
So
that's so neat. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, besides working at the FamilySearch Library, he's also really involved with the community. He is the second VP of the Utah Genealogical Association. And you also, this is incredible, you run DNA projects for 3 different surnames. What are those surnames? Just interested to hear what they are.
So Tolman, that's my surname. My Yeaman, that's my mother's surname, and then Merritt, that's my grandma's surname.
Oh, that's so neat. We're gonna have to do a whole webinar about what you've discovered about those surnames. That sounds like so much fun. Okay, and then just really quickly, he loves bacon burgers, just to humanize you a little bit. You love Star Wars, and most importantly, you love your wife, and you have 3 little kids that you love to play with.
Mm-hmm. The fourth
Perfect.
one
Okay.
was born.
I'm sorry, how many?
We just had a fourth.
You had a 4th. Oh, how precious. That's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. You're gonna have to continue sharing Star Wars with them. Okay, so Tanner, today you're going to talk about a hot topic when it comes to family history, and it's merging duplicates. How many of you that are watching have had issues or challenges with merging duplicates or just duplicates in general? Go ahead and say me, 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 me. I'm sure that that's all of us. Leave that comment in the chat. If that's you, let us know if you've experienced something like that, or if you know the answers to that. And if you don't, you are in store for a treat from Tanner, who's going to explain how it is that we can merge duplicates. Uh, what's really important about this is because we've all been in that, had that experience of being in the tree and suddenly we realize that there are different records for the same person. And that happens a lot. And it happens for different reasons. And of course, it's frustrating, right? And so Tanner today is going to show us how we can merge the duplicates properly. And it sounds really simple, but we're in luck today because Tanner is going to tell us what the right way is, and he's going to tell us what the best way is. And so it's about being careful, and it's making sure that we're making the right decisions and that we're just in the know of all of these tips that Tanner is going to share with us. And so Tanner, we're so excited. And everyone, make sure that when you have questions that you're letting us know what those questions are at the very end of this webinar, as we do always every Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, we will be answering them. And if you're watching this after the fact, don't even worry. Our plan is to always make sure that you get answers to your questions. And so feel free to leave your questions whenever this comes across your algorithm on whichever platform that you're watching us from. And remember that there are hundreds of free family history classes for you to enjoy on your own timing at rootstech.org. Tanner, take it away. We're so excited. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and add my screen to the stage. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really believe that if you're here, you care about making the tree correct and making it accurate for future generations. And so thank you for taking the time. Duplicates is something that gets a bit of a bad rap. I think in the past, the tree has had negative views by some people because of duplicates, but really duplicates are a positive. They're something we want to resolve, but they happen for different reasons, but the main reason is because of collaboration. And so if a duplicate is in the tree, often it means that two people have worked on that same individual, and then they can connect their research together. So today, I think a lot of the major duplicates that first happened when FamilySearch was launched have been resolved. The main duplicates that I continue to see are typically people on the fringes of the tree. And on the fringes of the tree would be like somebody in the tree who has maybe their parents in the tree, but not their children or their spouse or their death, or perhaps it's the opposite where they have their children, but not their parents in the tree. And so duplicates are most commonly happening in those areas of the tree where the tree is growing and expanding. And so when you find those duplicates, it doesn't mean somebody was doing terrible research. It usually means that you are actually making the tree larger and better for future generations overall. The nobility have a lot of duplicates if you go looking for them. And then also if people, the other common thing is when somebody dies. If somebody is living, you can have them in the tree, but only the person who added them can see them. And so when a living person dies, if you've got your grandma in the tree and she's alive and all 30 of your cousins have your grandma in the tree, then once she dies and all of you go into FamilySearch and mark her as deceased, suddenly there will be 30 duplicates of your grandmother that you merge. So if you see a close duplicate like that, that's probably what happened. But in most cases, it's going to be these people that are on the edge. So what I want to do is I've prepared a list of duplicates that I've found in the tree by doing some research over the past week. And I'm a Danish researcher by heart, and so they're all Danish, but the principles that apply to these people can apply wherever in the world that you are also researching. So this is an example right here. This is a gentleman named Søren Mikkelsen. And what I want you to notice is that over here on the right, where it says research help, there's 13 possible hints. And we see over here 3 possible duplicates. So whenever the system thinks that there could be a duplicate for the person, it's going to list that possible duplicate over here. And then you can click on the duplicate and resolve it. And then there will also be record hints and other things. If you click on show all, often there's more than just the 3 duplicates. In reality, in this case, there's 1, 2, 3. There's actually 4. So what we do in this case, when you find a possible duplicate, we are going to go ahead and just click on it. And it's okay to click on it if you don't know if it's a duplicate or not. All this does is take you to a page where you can just review and see if you think it is or not. And if it's not, you can just click no. And if you do mess up, if you do merge 2 people that are in fact different individuals, there is also an undo merge that I'm going to demonstrate as well. So what we have here on this screen is the original person that we were on is this person on the right. The possible duplicate is this person that is on the left. And it asks you to scroll through and just look and see if the person could be a duplicate or not. And if it is, then you go ahead and click yes, continue. And if it's not, you just click not a match, and you just you provide a reason for why it's not a duplicate. So in this case, we have this gentleman named Søren Mikkelsen, and there's really not a lot of information about him. Like, this is a person who is on the fringes of the tree and just hasn't been researched very much. If we click on his kids, this one has a child named Karen, born in 1747. And it says she's born in this parish called Hulke in Denmark in 1747. And this one has a little more information. It has a wife, Anna Mette, and it has a child named Søren Sørensen. And we click on him, and he's also born in Hulke. So this is somebody that very well could, in fact, be a possible duplicate. What would make a lot of sense is if Søren Mikkelsen and his wife, Anna Mette Sørensdatter, are actually the parents of Søren and Karen. And somebody who perhaps is a descendant of Karen may have built out that part of the tree, and then a descendant of Søren may have also researched up to this part of the tree, and the families just need to be merged. So that is a possibility. It is also possible in Denmark in particular. A lot of people have the same name, and so these could be 2 different families. So how do we know? In this case, you can go ahead and, if you want, put in the comments if you think it's a duplicate or not. But in this case, Family Tree itself does not have enough information. You would need to go do some deeper research in the country to find out for sure if it's not. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and merge it. Now, I do know the answer. So we're going to click yes, continue. So I want to show how a merge works. So once we've said that we are going to merge it, the surviving person continues to be over here on the right. And now with all of this stuff that's on the left, this is what's going to get deleted when we do the merge. And so anytime the stuff that is on the left is better than what is on the right, then you want to go ahead and click replace. A lot of times the information is identical, and so it doesn't matter if you click it or not. Like the sex is the same, the spelling of the name is exactly the same. But just in general, if it's better on the left, go ahead and click replace. And sometimes the spelling is better or the dates are more specific. It's going to automatically bring over the spouse and the children from the other marriage. But if you don't want them as part of the merge, you can just click undo and they will get deleted. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this merge. So I'm going to click continue. Now, it used to be when you were doing merges that people would just make merges all the time without giving any reason at all. And some people were really good at merges and other people were causing problems in the tree. So now you have to give a reason statement. So they've come up with this compromise where you have to come up with a reason statement, but they also know that it can be exhausting to have to type one up yourself every time. And so you can type a reason. You can say, like, both men lived in the same parish and had the same name. You can do that, or you can click on one of these boxes that you feel best describes the situation. And once you've given a reason, then you can go ahead and click Finish Merge. So now we have Surin, and he has been merged together. And the next step would be to merge the wife, because see, we have this one wife that is a question mark, and we have this one wife that is on a meta that we would believe are the same person, and we would then merge them, and now it's going to look like one family. However, actually, in reality, these two people should not have been merged. They are actually two different families. So I did this on purpose because I want to show you how to do an unmerge. A lot of times the biggest reason that prevents people from doing merges is they are afraid. They're either afraid of messing up the tree, or they are afraid of getting a nasty email from somebody else in the tree saying, hey, you screwed up my family. So it's just important to remember we just all need to be kind with each other, and anything that is done in the tree can be undone. There's no permanent damage. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the unmerge. I'm also going to show you why, in fact, this needs to be unmerged. It so happens that this particular parish in Denmark, there's been a nice person who's gone ahead and typed them all up. These are abstracts of the parish records, and I don't want to get too much into Danish research, but if I just do a search for Søren Mikkelsen, there are actually 8 hits. This very first hit, what this says is Anna Søren's daughter and the soldier Søren Mikkelsen had an illegitimate child named Søren, and that was the child born in 1745. Now down here, this says Søren Mikkelsen and Anna Christian's daughter got engaged, and then down here we have Søren Mikkelsen and Anna Christian's daughter getting married. And then between that, you have this line that says Anna Søren's daughter is being absolved for having a child with the soldier Søren Mikkelsen. And so basically what we're seeing is that the farmer Søren Mikkelsen, who's marrying Annie Christian's daughter, is in fact a different person from this soldier Søren Mikkelsen. And so in this case, there actually are 2 men with the same name, one who is a farmer and one who is a soldier that we accidentally just merged together. Continuing down this, the soldier essentially disappears from the records, and the farmer continues to have children. So basically, in order to figure that out, you have to just look in the records. In this case, I use those abstracts, but usually if you don't know with the merge, you just want to go ahead and do some more research. So in order to unmerge this, you can come to show all over here on the right, these latest changes. Every change that has ever happened to a person in the tree is going to show up here. And they're going to be in order. And so here it says the surviving person's this man, and here's the deleted person, merge analysis. and we click on it, and all we have to do is click this button that says undo merge. And so we want to give a reason, and I'll just go ahead and just explain that. And we click submit. And now the merge is undone and things are good as new. So we've gone ahead and we've removed the one that we've removed that erroneous merge. However, we have 4 Søren Mikkelsens over here, and most of them are actually the same guy. Most of them are the farmer. So we want to go ahead and we want to merge those. So this one that we're on right now is the soldier. But we just want to go ahead and click on one of these others and basically merge everything except for the soldier. So we come to this guy, and yeah, that's one of the farmer's kids. And we're going to click on possible duplicate, and we're going to click on review merge. And we're going to see which one it is. This one in 1747, that is we're going to double check. The one that the soldier, his child was Soren. So as long as we don't merge the one with the Soren in 1745, we're going to be okay. So we click on yes, continue. And this time it is a real merge, so we're going to actually keep it. But we're going to review it like it asks and make sure that it really is the same person. And then we're going to click continue. In that case, there wasn't anything particularly better on the information on the left. And we're going to pick one of these boxes. And I'm going to pick this third one in this case. And then we're going to go ahead and click finish merge. So that merge is now done. And we're going to go ahead and do the other ones. And this one is a child Peter. So we're going to go ahead and merge that. Merge this one. So the main thing is, as long as you're also looking in the records as well, the merges don't necessarily need to take very long. This is also a common situation. What happens where you have, basically what's happened is somebody has gone through the records for this parish and they've indexed all of them. And for each baby that was born, they made a new entry. And so each baby is in the database once. But then the dad, Søren Mikkelsen, is in the tree as many times as he had kids. So now the dad is all merged. And in this case, he has a bunch of spouses that are the same person that are all of these question marks. And so we would just want to click on the wives and then merge the wives as well. And then it's going to make it one nice, concise family. Okay, so we've merged the husband and we've merged the wife. And now that we've done that, and there's still even some more. Now, another thing I want to show how to do with this, sometimes you're going to know in the tree that there is a duplicate that is not coming up. And so how do you resolve that? So for instance, if we go to the wives, on this particular one, see how over here, for whatever reason, the other question mark wives are not coming up. You're going to go ahead and click on merge by ID. So what you do in this situation, merge by ID, everybody has a number next to them. So see how it says Søren Mikkelsen, and then you have this 27RYWJF. Well, every single person in the tree has a unique ID number like that. And so if you click on one of them, it automatically copies it into your brain, into the computer's brain. So first you want to go to Søren, where you can see all the wives. And there's one question mark there, 2, 3. All of them just need to be merged. So you just click on the ID number of one of them. In this case, I'm picking the one on the bottom. And then I'm going to go click on the name. In this case, the name is a question mark. And then I'm going to go to person. And then I'm going to scroll down and click on merge by ID. And then I'm going to paste in that number just with Control V, and I'm going to click continue. So for whatever reason, the tree did not recognize these people as duplicates, but we are basically forcing it to do a merge. And then you just go through the rest of the process like normal. So one of them's done, and I believe there's one more. And then the family is going to look, the family should be finished. So we're going to take that one, and then we're going to go to this one. So we click on the ID number of the second wife, and then we click on the profile of the first wife. We go to merge by ID, and we paste it in, and then we click on yes, continue. We review all of it, and then we just click continue, and we pick one of the reason statements, and then we finish the merge. So what I've just done in real time is I've just done actually a total of 10 merges. There were, I believe, 5 Søren Mikkelsens in the tree, and there were 5 of his wife. And now that we've merged them all, now the family is all nice and together. And it looks like a traditional family. They're spaced all 2 to 3 years apart. With this Karen, there's a Karen here and a Karen here. Usually what that means in Denmark is that this first Karen died. Little nuance to Denmark, so that's not a mistake. And then you'd want to go and do more research and continue building out the family and find the name of the mystery wife, so she does not have to just be a question mark. In this case, her name is this Anna Christiansdottir right here. So we just click the little pencil next to the question mark, and we just change that question mark to Annie Christiansdottir. And now this family is good to go. It only took about 10 minutes to do all those merges. And there's more research that could be done on this family and building it forwards and backwards. But really what we've done is we've taken all these little different fragments in the tree, and we've consolidated them into a nice, clean family. And if you do mess up, if you merge the soldier into the rest of them, again, all you need to do is just come to merge by ID the latest changes, and then find the merge that you don't want and undo that one. So if you mess up the tree, it's okay. If you find somebody else who messes up the tree, you can just go ahead and make the change yourself. If you are worried about somebody messing up the tree and causing a problem, if you believe somebody's just consistently merging the people who shouldn't, you can go ahead and click this follow button right here. And this is very similar to following somebody on Facebook. Basically, what happens is anytime somebody makes changes to that person going forward, you get an email about it. And then if you see somebody improving the tree, you can go ahead and thank them. Or if you see a mistake, you can go ahead and remove it. The other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put sources on all of this. And so in the interest of time, I'm not going to, but I'll do it after the class. But what you'd want to do is you'd want to then go into the parish records and you'd want to cite all of these records and you'd want to give an explanation of why these people belong in the family and that initial person was not, why the soldier doesn't belong in the family. The more sources and explanations you give, the greater the probability that somebody's not going to mess it up and cause a problem down the road. Okay, so with beta, if we go to beta FamilySearch, there are the merge screen. That's basically where the engineers are testing new stuff. And the merge screen looks a little different there. And so I'm going to go ahead and show it. I don't have any inside information about when these changes will happen, but I do believe that this is what the merge screen is going to look like going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so beta is basically just where we test stuff to make sure it's good to go for new going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and show an example. G3TCQ79. This is Gorm the Gamla. He was the first historical king of Denmark. He's not the first king of Denmark, but he's the first one that we have the details of his life rooted in history. We know exactly when he died, where he lived. He is royalty, and the royalty tend to have a lot of duplicates. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to go down to merge by ID, and I'm going to put in this other number for him, MXVX391. And this should be another instance of Gorm. And so this is over here on the left, this is the new ID. This is Gorm than Gamla, and here's Gorm than Gamla. And we're going to go ahead and do this merge, but just look how different this screen is. It could be jarring the first time you see it, but essentially it's all the same stuff. So all we're going to do is it's going to default check these options on the right. That's the person being kept. And anytime we like what's better on the left, we're going to click replace. So if we like this 936 death better than the 950 death, we would go ahead and just check that box. And now it tells us, are you sure this is the same person? These death dates are at least 13 years apart. And we're going to say, yes, we're going to go ahead and go with this merge anyways. But this middle one, I don't think is very high quality. And there's no way he would have been buried 9 years after he died. And Gorm, I believe, died in 936. That's the correct date. The reason we know that is because they dated the coffin that they found in the burial mound. But we're going to go ahead, and once we're happy with that, we've changed it to the date that we like, and we're just going to go ahead and click on merge. And now the other big change is this over here, the reason for the merge. So instead of having those 4 auto boxes, you just pick the ones that you want. And so we're going to say birth and dates match, first name, this matches. The death did not match. The spouses matched and the children matched. So we're going to put all of that, and we're going to click submit. And now the merge is done. Okay, so finally at the bottom, the last thing I want to show, and this is probably the thing that gets used probably the least, is there is this tool over here called possible duplicates, where it just takes you, all this does is it takes you to the same place as up here. If the system thought there were any duplicates, it would already be showing them. It tends to prioritize them, but you want to make sure to remember that these duplicates that it's showing, they're very conservative, and so there can very well be more in the tree. And in fact, there are more. So if I go ahead and go to merge by ID and put in this third number, KGB7BHXR, maybe that one is only in the regular one. Anyhow, there are more duplicates for Gorm the Old. Yeah. So for whatever reason, that one is not in the in beta, just because beta has a little bit older database on purpose. Okay, so that's those are the main things for doing a duplicate. So when you do a duplicate, just remember everything you do can be undone. You're never going to cause permanent damage, and everybody's just trying their best. Always check the research help first, because if the system thinks there's going to be duplicates, they're going to be there. If you know there is a duplicate in the tree, you want to go ahead and click on merge by ID, and you will just put in the ID number of the duplicate, and it'll let you do the merge that way. This possible duplicates under tools essentially takes you to the same duplicates that would be up here. And then when you're doing the merge, anytime the information that is better is on the left, go ahead and click replace. And that's going to make the tree as robust as possible for the next person. But does anyone have any questions about merges? I'm happy to answer them or help you analyze them if you even want to talk about some specific merges you see in the tree.
We have a lot of questions, Tanner.
Okay.
Okay, so speaking of questions, if you have questions, FamilySearch family, please, 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 you still have time to ask them. Let's start by the first question, which is, and this was early on in your presentation, Tanner, is there a shortcut? Cat3 says, is there a shortcut to correct the whole family at a time, or do we really need to do each person individually? And before you answer that, hello to all of the 600 people that are watching this presentation. Tanner, this is a hit. It seems like this is really resonating with everybody.
Thanks. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a way to do the whole family at a time. That would be really nice if it would just pull up all the, all 5 Surans at once and you could just merge them. But it doesn't allow that. And so you just have to go through each one one at a time. But if you're careful, it doesn't usually take too long.
Thank you so much. We've got people from all over the world watching what you have to say. There is someone who said, should I merge a male who has different parents? The children of this male are attached to the male who does not have the right grandparents of the children. And I just brought that
Um,
up on the screen because that one's a little bit more
yeah.
entailed.
Should I merge a male who has different parents? The children of this male are attached to the male. So, I mean, I would, like with each merge, I'd want to do it case by case. And I suspect that's why they don't let you merge all those Sorens at once. It sounds like perhaps it may be two different people. So what I would think what you'd want to do is rather than merge the two men who have the different parents, if the children are and the grandchildren are linked to the wrong person, you're going to want to go ahead and just unlink them and put them with the right person. I can show you how to do that. So say you have Karen, and and you decide this person actually belongs to a different family. What you'd want to do is you'd want to click this little pencil next to her, and then you can just remove her from her mom and dad, or you can even replace them and just type in, you can just click replace father, and then put in the ID number of the correct individual. It sounds like that may be what you are wanting, but I'd have to see the specifics on it.
Yeah, and I love how you were going through that process and how you emphasized throughout that. I mean, like you really need to be sure about what you're doing. And I love that little checkbox that showed up when you brought it up on the screen. It says, I have reviewed the notes, the sources before making this move, right? Because you don't want to do anything that would be a detriment to anyone else. And speaking of that, this question. Okay, so Cat 3 is asking, is it possible to unmerge a merge made by another person or only our own merges?
That is a really good question, and the answer is you can undo other people's merges. I'm really glad for that. I don't know if any of you remember, but about 15 years ago, before FamilySearch, there was actually something called New FamilySearch. In New FamilySearch, it functioned very much the same as FamilySearch, except for the only people who could delete or change anything in the tree were the people who added them. And so merges couldn't happen. And then you would have good researchers that would put stuff in. And then you'd also have less skilled researchers who would put in their erroneous stuff. And then it was like a fridge where, you have good stuff in the fridge, and then you also have bad stuff stuck in the back that's been sitting there for a long time, and then it spoils the rest of it. And so the engineers specifically designed the tree to be an open edit tree like this, because they found that if everybody can edit it, then people really do want it to be right. 15 years ago, when they were doing a presentation about FamilySearch and the switch they were going to make from New FamilySearch to FamilySearch, the presenter said, as a test, I went to Wikipedia and I made a Wikipedia page about a new made up 10th planet, because Pluto was still a planet. So they made up a 10th planet and they made a page about it and they posted it in. 45 seconds later, that page was deleted and they got a note saying, do not add a new planet unless you have proof that there is a 10th planet. And it's the same idea with FamilySearch. By actually making it open edit, it allows it actually allows the best information to stay, because so many people are trying to make the tree correct.
I love that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Tanner, that's such an exceptional explanation, and thanks for simplifying it in that way by giving us that example. We have another question from Nancy. She's saying, is there information or a tutorial on merging on the website? And you are in luck today because, well, if you watch this and something may not be clear, friends, there is a link in the description and in the comments of wherever you're watching, that we will make sure that there's a link that you can have access to. You just click on it and it'll have a step-by-step guide on how you can do merges on your own. So it's all written and outlined for you. And you can always reference this webinar. And just a reminder that webinars and classes, hundreds of classes in so many different languages are available at rootstech.org. And so, and also the fact that Tanner and his team also offer virtual consultations with people, whether it's you live in some part of Europe, or if you live somewhere else in the United States and you're not nearby in Salt Lake City where the FamilySearch library is, they are there to help you with virtual consultations. And then we would also invite you to look for family centers near you. You just put that in Google and it'll show up. Okay, so one last question. So Amber is asking, and I'm going to read this slowly because it's a long question. Would this be something that could be reduced in the future if we could connect to the records of living individuals with their approval, of course? What are your thoughts on that, Tanner?
I mean, so living people will always be private or in the tree. And so when somebody dies, that will always happen. There will always be some duplicates, but living people sharing their information that they have, because most people know at least their 4 generations. The more people that will go ahead and just put that into FamilySearch, it absolutely is going to help reduce duplicates simply by making the tree larger and more robust. And so I think it will. I think duplicates will always exist in some capacity until all of mankind is perfectly documented. But yes, it will help.
That's awesome. And Amber, thank you so much for your question. And we have people again watching from all over the world. We have almost 600 individuals. Can you believe that, Tanner?
Wow. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah. So, friends, thank you for tuning in today. We want to know if you have more questions, and it looks like that was it because Tanner, it was crystal clear. And again, if you're like, I don't remember how to do that one thing that Tanner talked about, you can watch this later, whether it's here on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitter, wherever you're watching us from, or even rootstech.org. You can access all of these resources from knowledgeable people like Tanner at your convenience. And I don't know about you, but I probably would have to use the playback speed like 0.5 speed because I just want to make sure that I would understand everything because there's just so much, Tanner. But you explained it so clearly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tanner, if there's one takeaway that you hope that people remember from all that you explained, what would it be?
I think the takeaway would be just remember that there's a lot of tools to make this easy for you. I would first check the research help and see what duplicates are there, and then just try your best. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. I have merged a lot of duplicates that have been bad, and I've had to just fix them and put oops. So just go ahead and try, and don't be afraid.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining our FamilySearch community every Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. You will always have a class from a FamilySearch library expert. And if you're like, I want them to do a class on such and such a thing or a presentation that talks about X or that answers whichever question you have, feel free to leave it in the comments below. We want to make sure that these classes reflect your interest. And so we always appreciate your feedback. Thank you, everyone, and we hope that you have a fantastic week. And Tanner, thanks again for your time, and thanks to everyone. Have a fantastic week. Take care. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.